Yes, the Komagata Maru of first class, let the buyer beware. Japanese steamer, 329.2 feet in length, 2,926 gross tonnage, captained by one Yamamoto. Remember that name. And Japanese crew carrying a cargo of coal. And 346 Sikhs, counter, plus 30 East Indians, religious affiliations unknown. Add them all together, and what do we get? That is correct. Give the man a cigar. 376 is the answer. 376 agents, to be precise. And all of them found for? Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. This is Vancouver, ladies and gentlemen. The 21st day of May, 1914. And may I direct your attention to my hat? I passed my hand over my hat. And what do we have inside? A pair of gloves. gentlemen, I present Miss Evie. Entrepreneur. What is it?
It's a present.
Don't tell me, silly.
You asked.
I don't want you to tell me. Oh, Bill. This is beautiful. Here, pin it on me. Ladies and gentlemen, you see, now this pocket's empty. Oh, not so now. I have here one billfold with a German visa for 1 year franc. And here, behind the ear, a chocolate. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce 1 year franc and Sophie. Oh, wait a minute.
Hey.
No chickie, no washing. Money. Somebody get the door. Thank you. George? Are you deaf? There's somebody at the door.
Sophie.
Ladies and gentlemen, lest we forget the Komagata Maru. Let me show it to you. It's a first-class Japanese steamer, chock full of brown-skinned Hindus, headed for a predominantly pale Vancouver and entry into whitish Canada. The Komagata Maru, in blue Canadian wool.
From Montreal to Port Moody, a rail link has been built up with 15,000 Chinese laborers. Jaspir, the Canadians have great insight. They want to make sure all of Canada gets linked up.
But it isn't only the Chinese who built the railway. Belgique, my husband's elder brother, also worked on the great Canadian Pacific Company.
Oh.
And look, the sea has been so nice to us. As we come closer to Canada, look, its waters are so calm.
There. Everything's forgotten, all right?
All right.
But, you have to thank me for the brooch.
Thank you, Billy.
No tease. You know I don't like Billy.
Thank you, Bill.
That's
Now you sit down. I'll get you a drink. Oh, not the time of getting to start here.
Can't be helped. I'm sorry.
You always have to go.
Don't be mad. It won't be long. It's just an appointment.
Yes, we'll get used to it. That's what it's like around here. Half the time I'm running messages for him.
For who?
Mr. Hopkinson. He gets on immigration.
Immigration?
Yeah, I'm sick of answering that damn door for him.
Sophie, do you think that...
Mr. Hopkinson, the man out back for you.
Who is it?
He said tell Mr. Hopkinson that Bella Singh is here. You're a rat again.
Now, don't call him that.
I don't like rats coming round.
Evie, let's not start this again.
He's always coming round, and when he gets off, you go poof.
It'll only take a minute.
Mother always said, don't snitch. Don't play with snitchers. Did your mother to tell you that?
Evie, we've settled all this.
Mr. Hopkinson, did you hear me?
Now, don't pout. You'll get wrinkled.
Get out.
I'm going.
George!
Mr. Hopkinson! Who's this, Sophie? Your France, sir.
They have raised the head tax from $50 to $200 now. Do you think it's going to apply to us people?
No. No. The head tax was for those who are not part of the great empire. My cousins who came here from England after Queen's Diamond Jubilee celebration
him in for a drink when I get back.
Oh,
I want to meet him.
you've already met him.
Talk to him then.
I thought brown rats were your specialty.
Bella Singh is a loyal British subject.
Well, George Braun's no British subject. You're setting up no rats in my house.
I'll do just as I please in your house. It's me that keeps you open, and don't you forget it. One nod from me and you'd be buried under warrants. Abby, what's good for me is good for you, Abby. I just want to meet him. Talk to him. Abby, I get ahead. Do you know how I do that? I look ahead. I'm always thinking. Now you read the papers, you stop and think. The Kaiser Wilhelm and all that. Something in here tells me a German can do me some good. Perhaps not today or tomorrow, maybe next year. Who knows? Now you can understand that, can't you?
I just don't like that. You're setting up a
Hopkins and Bella Singh's waiting to see you. He's at the end of the yard.
The German's coming in for a drink, I think.
You say so. Hopkinson?
Yes, sir.
The Komagata Maru is in port with 376 potential immigrants.
Yes, sir.
So what do you know about them?
I've spoken to my man Bella Singh, sir. He tells me they're Sikhs from India, British subjects. And as such, do have right of entry into Canada, sir.
The word is no entry.
I realize that, sir, but we may have a problem.
Oh, what?
Many are veterans of the British Army, sir. They're sure to plead consideration for military service.
Well, you can put it this way. We don't mind them dying for us. We just don't want them living with us. You get a point?
Yes, sir. But if they should go to the courts.
They won't go to the courts. He hasn't done his homework. Have you forgotten our two-order encounter? If an immigrant wishes to enter the country through a western port, he must make a continuous voyage from his own country to here. Have they done so?
No, sir, they have not.
That's not surprising. There isn't a steamship line in existence with a direct India to Canada route. And for our second ace in the hole, a tax. $200 to be paid before entry. Do they have it?
Bella Singh says they do not.
Again, not surprising. In the land of his birth, the average Indian's wage is $9 a year. There now, you see how we operate, Hopkinson? Never a word of race, color, or creed. And yet we allow British subjects to enter. They are British subjects. We don't allow them to enter.
Very clever, sir. However, I must tell you that...
I think you go places, Hopkinson. Do a good job on this Komagata Maru affair. We'll have a long chat.
Thank you, sir. However, I must tell you that Herman Singh says... Herman Singh says that the local Sikhs have raised the money for the head tax, sir.
That's not so good.
It is possible...
It's possible. Do you pay for information like that?
Bella Singh says that the Sikhs will deliver the head tax in a launch to those on the ship late tonight, sir.
The word is no entry, Hopkinson.
Yes, sir.
Listen, everybody, listen, look. Immigration officials intercept head tax in Vancouver Harbor. Look at now, look. A launch is headed this way. Maybe your cousins are in it.
No. My cousins cannot come. They're in a place called Port Albert
I can tell you what it means. British Columbia wants no Calcutta coolies. Listen, we've Japs and Chinamen running our shops, Greeks running our hotels, and Jews running our second-hand stores. We don't want Hindus running our mills.
For God's sakes, girl, have a drink.
George,
Oh, please. The seats on the ship, they would pay the head tax with the money from the launch, eh? But what is legal? Can you intercept it like that?
well, we did. Another bottle. The Calcutta coolie, George, belongs in India.
Do you know India, sir?
Do I know India? Evie, he wants to know if I know India.
Who does he know India?
I know India, and I know its people. When I was a child, my father was stationed in the Punjab. He had only to shout, "Kya hai," to summon a slave. Well, a servant. No, goddammit, to summon a slave. Scrawl his initials on the chit, and there was a felt carpet from Kashmir, brass ornaments from Moradabad, silver for pocket money, cigars, horses, a dog, anything he wanted. Show me your brooch, Eddie. It belonged to my father. Marvelous craftsman, those days.
It's lovely.
Did you know that Lute was an Indian?
Is it?
It's really beautiful, Evie.
My father was a big man, blonde, curly hair, wonderful mustache he had. He looked like a prince in his uniform. A prince, surrounded by little beige people.
Well, what about your mother?
Oh, kya hai? And they'd scuttle like bugs.
But did your mother like it there?
She never said. You've no idea, George, of the size, the immensity, the aliens.
Sophie tells me you yourself served in the Punjab.
Oh, yes. Lahore Police Force, 6 years service.
What brings you to Canada?
Promotion was blocked in Lahore.
Oh. Now that's hard to believe for a man like yourself, sir.
Quite simple, George. Please. But I learned something from that. So, I answered an ad, and here I am.
Well, you certainly led a very exciting life.
Hey! Sophie can make your life exciting too. Yes, she can, George. Let Sophie sit on George.
Ladies and gentlemen, 23rd day of May 1914. The turbid tide is flowing. The first wave of an Asian invasion sits at anchor in Vancouver Harbor.
They won't let us land. We've asked the judge to rule on the orders in council. Our food and water are rationed. How long must we wait?
I don't know.
Today's lesson is taken from the Department of Immigration's Handbook, Regulation 23, Paragraph 4. Now, I am talking about checks and balances of
are this. If you examine the world and its history, you will see that the laws of evolution, which have shaped the energy, efficiency, and enterprise of the race northwards, have left less richly endowed those peoples inhabiting the southern regions.
Go on, go on.
Yes, yes. This process is no passing accident, sir, but part of the cosmic order of things, which we have no power to alter. The European races must administrate. And all that is needed to assure their success in this is a clearly defined sense of moral necessity. Do you agree, sir?
Agreed. It's a pleasure to talk to you, George. I feel as if you're a friend. A good friend.
Oh, I'm honored.
I have very few friends. A man in my position, head of intelligence, has very few good friends.
Please consider me one of them.
I am most often thought of as a dose of salt. Not palatable, but essential to the health of the body. I accept this.
You are,
If I may make a small observation, it is truly amazing to know the number of people who use laxatives regularly and lie about it. You follow, eh? Yes, I have a job and I do it. And damn well if I do say so myself.
you have a good network of men.
It's more than that. It's a sense of responsibility. That's what it is. I take the risks, and I find the reward in the fulfillment of my tasks. Now, there's your difference between white and color. The gift of responsibility.
What's the difference?
That's why we're in here, and the Komagata Maru's out there, scratching at the door.
Why?
For Christ's sakes, Evie, if it weren't for the British, they couldn't construct a canoe, much less charter a steamer.
You should know. You lived with them.
I did not live with them.
Well, you were there. That nose had heard it often enough. It's hard to keep track where you were when and with who.
I was brought up in India. I know them, if that's what you mean. Now, shut your mouth when we're talking. Come on, George. I've a chess set, hand-carved in ivory. Marvelous chess player, my father.
I saw what you did. Do you think because I have no husband you can steal my food away from me?
On April 4th, I joined the ship at Shanghai.
Do you think you can keep my people away from me when half the boat is starving?
I put my hoe down and picked up the British Army rifle for 3 years.
Do you think I'll let you steal again?
It is May 23rd, 12:30 a.m. The Komagata Maru enters Burrard Inlet. They will put us in quarantine.
Ah, Hopkinson.
My child cries with thirst.
I have observed suffering and deprivation on the Komagata Maru.
What else?
Our policy of disallowing the supplying of the ship is sound. It weakens their morale. It's only a matter of time before they question their leadership.
Continue.
As conditions deteriorate, we could at some future date offer supplies as an incentive to leave.
Very good. Very good.
There is a woman and child on the ship.
Irrelevant.
It's hard to explain to a child. Your father was a soldier. He died fighting for the king, so
why I'd have thought it'd been my back. Huh? Come on, bad backs run in the family.
Oh.
With the women, that is. With the men, it's always having to, well, you know, piss when they're older. You know, if I had my druthers, though, I'd rather have a bad back. You know why? You know, in the night when the pot was full, my grandfather would piss out the window. Unless, of course, the wind blew from the east, and then he'd piss out the door.
Why?
Well, it blew back at the window. The window faced east.
Oh, Sophie.
Oh, well, it's true. You know, back home, I used to lie out in the field. My mama would scream, "Sophie, Sophie!" I'd just lie there and think, "Sophie, get out of here, better yourself." And Mama would scream, "Sophie, Sophie, I know you're hiding." I'd just lie there. Mama always said I was lazy. Well, maybe I am, but you don't see me emptying out piss pots. I get out of there.
Don't stay here, Sophie.
My back's not breaking from carrying too many kids and too many milk cans.
Find it nice, man. And move on.
Maybe I trained it.
It's the salt in the water. But look, he's a brave boy. He knows he'll be ashore soon. If he doesn't cry.
At this point, I think they want to starve us out till some of us give up.
Yes. When we are weak, we'll agree to turn back. At least some of us.
This is how they win out all the time. They divide us on the smallest issues. I see it coming.
What do you see coming?
Division. Here on the Komagata Maru and in India. They will divide the country and loot more.
No, Anand, there is no way they can divide us. We may be weak, but we will not give up. Will we?
I promised them food and water.
Oh, Red.
I've given my word.
And what do you hope to gain from that?
Sir,
Surely not plaudits from me.
sir, when I boarded the ship for inspection, they seized me. They were ready to take off in our launch and head for shore. Patrol boats are not. They were desperate. They said they'd rather be shot than die of hunger or thirst. I felt it only humanitarian to grant them 1 week's provisions.
You've enabled them to hang on, that's what you've done?
Yes, sir.
Oh, where's that incentive to leave?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so what? The case is still pending.
Yes, sir.
Never initiate action when you haven't the guts to carry it through. It's a sign of weakness, Hopkinson.
Yes, sir.
You disappoint us. We brought you up and we can put you down.
Yes, sir.
We trust our meaning sufficiently clear.
Sir.
Bill! Bill!
Evie? Mr.
Bill!
Hopkinson?
What's the matter?
Oh, Bill! They just sat on the thing. Or until they never got off.
Come on in.
I was on the tram, seat by the window. When we came round by the creek,
Come on. Come on.
when we came round by the creek, there was a queue for employment. Long line of men looking for work. Standing in line to stop for a fare. And then the line. All of a sudden, there was a man in a turban at the end of the line. His eye caught my eye as I looked out the window. I smiled, and he smiled. And as he smiled, a man stepped in front of him, and he was back at the end. I don't know, it happened so quickly. He touched the man on the shoulder. The man turned. A long line of men. It seemed to turn. When the turban started to speak, he got out a few words. I didn't sense anger. And then fight imaginary. It has never been.
You were frightened, that's all.
Should have done something.
You should have come home and you did. Come on, Eddie. You saw a fight. You've seen fights before.
No, it wasn't a fight. I just sat on the goddamn tram and came home.
Sophie, get her.
There are people at the end of the garage staring out at that ship. They look like the men in that line.
That's why we're sending the Komagata Maru back. So things like your fight won't happen. We don't want them here.
Well, why does it happen?
All I know is that my father did not die in the service for the world to be overrun by second-rate people.
You don't make sense. I mean, who's second rate when you run out of brown people?
Drink your drink.
I don't want to drink. You belong up there on Berard. Mr. Speaker, Prime Minister, honorable member, today I'm opening my heart to you. I am telling you my fears. Fears that affect each and every Canadian today. I fear for my country and I fear for my people. I am not ashamed, nor should you be, to state that this is white man's country. And I can tell you that our British traditions, our legacy, those things we hold dear, that we have fought and died for, is placed in jeopardy today by a massive influx of colored foreigners. The class of East Indian that has invaded British Columbia today is commonly known as Sikh. Having been accustomed to the conditions of a tropical clime, he is totally unsuited to this country. He is criminally inclined, unsavagely by habit, and roguish by instinct. The less we speak of his religion, the better. Suffice it to say that unless his ridiculous forms of worship are relinquished, he is an affront to the Christian community. His intelligence, well, that's roughly that of our aborigines. He indeed belongs to a heathen and debased class. Honorable members, stand up and be counted. Admit the honest fears of the constituents. Will the Sikhs work for cheaper wages and thus take away their jobs? Will he bring out his women and children, relatives and friends? Will Canadians step on a tram to ride from home to work next week and never hear a word of English spoken? That's enough, Charlie. And once at work, if he still has a job, that is, who will he eat his lunch with? Men honest in true like ourselves? Or will he be surrounded with colored men with foreign food? Canadians have rights. Our fathers have died for them. Let any man who is not willing to do the same step down. I have told you here what's in my heart today. For God's sake, show me what's in yours.
Eddie,
I'm here.
was Bella Singh around?
Don't ask me.
Sophie, where's Sophie?
What?
Was Bella Singh around?
When?
Day before yesterday, goddammit. Was he here?
Maybe. I don't remember.
What do you mean you don't remember?
Look, Bill, my girls don't keep track of your rats.
Well, if they don't, they'd better start. Customs picked up 3 men at the border today. Sikhs smuggling guns for the Komagata Maru. And my head's on the block. That's the information that I'm paid to deliver. And I knew nothing about it. You hear that? Sweet bugger all. Now, was Bella Singh around or not?
You can leave now, Sophie.
She'll leave when I tell her. Sophie! Sophie, did you forget a message?
You run your business. I'll run mine. Sophie, get out.
My Jesus, I want an answer!
Me, all right. It was me. Bella Singh came around. He left a note. I threw it out.
Why did you do it?
I don't pass notes.
It's me they come down on. Don't you realize that? If I don't deliver, I'm the one who pays. Not Bella Singh. Now, why did you do it?
I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
You wanted me to look bad. Is that it?
No.
I look bad, and then they'll dump me. Is that what you want?
No!
Then off we go. Something else. Somewhere else, eh?
Well, what's wrong with that? People do it.
What? Me?
Don't you like honest work?
Oh. That's a funny remark. Coming from a whore.
You want to know why I threw out your note? You want to know why? I will tell you why. I'm a whore, and what you do makes me sick. You do it gag me. I'm a whore, and when I look at your job, I could vomit.
No!
Don't look at the crowd on the shore. Don't listen. Pretend they are not there. The sky is a blue. A beautiful blue. Look at it. Don't look at them on the shore. They are ugly.
I never think of the woman and child. They never enter my mind. Meva Singh is a mill worker and a priest, caught crossing the border with guns. Meva Singh is a trusted man in the Sikh community. Meva Singh is a man I can use. I begin with loyalty. I move on to money. And end up with threats. Meva Singh says nothing. He looks me straight in the eye. I don't always like that. When someone's an act of defiance. In Meva Singh's eyes, there's an infinite sadness surrounding him, a pool of silence. When I speak to him, my words fall on my ears as if in a distance. I remember an incident when I was a child. There was trouble in the bazaar. And the soldiers had to be brought in on their horses. And the next day, I walked through. I saw blood. Like dark clots of jelly still in the streets. But no people. An empty bazaar. Do you have any conception of how strange that is? I remember standing there, very still, scrawny and pacey, very still, afraid to move. In the middle of the silence, listening, like a mouse on a pan, listening, the beat of the wings of the owl. And as I stood there, a figure approached me from out of one of the streets. Some native person. He stood in the shadow of the huts and he extended his arms towards me. And I turned around and ran home. I was frightened. It was safe. When I I finished my mixed bag of offers. He turns his head towards the window. I'm barred. He's dismissed me. His answer is no. God damn you! I need someone they can trust. I'm the one who has something to lose.
Relax. Don't worry. Congratulations are in order. Catch 22, Regulation 23, Paragraph 4. Still stands. Hurry, hurry, hurry! Final immigration ruling on the Komagata Maru. Right this way, folks. Right this way. 16th July 1914. Last and final chance to view the Komagata Maru. Yes, sirree, a decision is made. Out of 376 agents, 20 have proven to immigration officials the legality of the Canadian domicile. 90 suffering from disease have been ordered deported, and the rest can just shove off. The immigration department reigns supreme. To hell with the judges and the courts and the officers thereof. Last and final chance to view the Komagata Maru. Take it away, Bill.
Fairly well, Komagata Maru. Have a pleasant journey.
Very well.
Bon voyage, you've had your day in court.
Goodbye, you Hindus.
Now you and yours can eat crow. From here to Calcutta. Crow with seagull. Crow with seaweed. And crow with sea water.
Crow?
Fairly well, Komagata Maru. Fairly well, fairly well.
That's funny.
Is it moving yet?
Not yet, but any minute.
That's so funny, George.
Come on, Evan. Have a drink.
Hey, who would want to eat crow in seawater anyway, huh?
Who knows what Hindus eat?
Oh, anyways, it would make me sick. It would make you sick.
Oh, you aren't a
It
Hindu.
would make anybody sick, George.
Silly, silly Sophie.
See, Evie, it's all over.
Hey, you would need that unless there's nothing else to eat, that's for sure, right?
Silly, silly.
Hey, this crow in seawater sounds awful too, huh?
Forget it, Sophie.
What?
It's just an expression.
Well, so what does it mean then?
Come on, Evie.
Huh?
To submit humbly.
Surely that rings a bell. I mean, it does for me.
What?
Oh, don't be like that. Say you're sorry. I'm sorry.
What we need is a party. Let's have some music. Come on.
Hey, Sophie's right.
What we'll have is a polka.
Come on. It's a party. Let's dance, Evie. Come on. Let's dance.
Hawkinson! Hawkinson! It's someone at the end of the yard. Mela sings at the end of the yard.
And now we have no fresh water anymore.
We can hear them rejoice on the shore.
There'll be a beast. Then you drink the dirty water. Getting sick here.
And even the dirty water is finishing. Our appeal to the court is lost. They won't even let the Vancouver Temple provide us food. Yesterday they had a rally. 2,000 white people stood and listened to Mayor Baxter.
How do you know that?
They let Mr. Bird, the lawyer for the temple, bring the newspaper The Vancouver Sun for June 13th. I read it. He said we should be brought in for circus purposes. We are dirty. Let me read this to you. It is called The Other Side of the Hindu Curtain. Canadian relishes the clandestine and the surreptitious. Anything done in the dark or from ambush is fascinating. Yes, he lusts for mystery and skulking. If the Hindu conspirators hatch a plot today, the drift of the gossip carries news in the air. Their tongues are like those of scandal-thinking women.
Wait, show me, where does it say that?
They say our appeal is lost.
Tonight the Komagata Maru will be forced to sail for India?
Guess again.
The bastards!
We'll have a vote on the ship and I'll vote for my son. He may be young, but he's a good fighter.
Sit tight in the harbor, will they?
Drink up, everyone!
Foolish bastards! They must think it's a cricket game with the officers. Fair play, you're wicked. Pass the crumbs.
So what can they do?
Bugger all. A move can't be made or a word whispered in the temple, in the street, on the waterfront without my knowing it.
Yes, his men reduced.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill.
Well, if they don't, they'll find themselves in steerage on the next ship out.
You know something?
I'll seal the Komagata Maru off tighter and paint to the wall.
You sound worried.
I'll see it wrapped around with rot and rust and manned by skeletons before one bastard disembarks.
Come on, everyone. It's a party.
That's right. That's right. Come on. Glasses up. Glasses up. Come on. Now. Here's to the Komagata Maru, stuck in picturesque Vancouver Harbor. Oh, it gives me great pleasure to extend to you the hospitality of the Canadian people. Sip our rain. Eat our hair. And when you've had your fill, Angel-eyes westwards!
Ladies and gentlemen, it walks. It talks. It reproduces. It provides cheap labor for your factories and a market for your goods. All this plus a handy scapegoat. Who's responsible for unemployment? The colored immigrant. Who is it brings about a drop in take-home pay? The colored immigrant. Who is it creates slum housing, racial tension, high interest rates, and violence in our streets? The colored immigrant. But can we afford to be without it? I say no. It makes sense to keep a few around. When the dogs begin to bake, throw them a colored immigrant. May sound simple, but it works. For reference, see the red, the white, the blue, the green paper on immigration. Whatever year you fancy. This place is a pigsty.
Old news, Evie.
This place is a pigsty.
Well, at least it's a profitable pigsty, isn't it?
Money isn't everything. Hey.
Well, don't be silly.
Did you know that if a pig falls in a trough, the other pigs would eat it? Gobble, gobble, gobble. I think pigs are all right. I've known some not bad pigs. Goddamn pigsties, they turn to nasty.
I would not want to be Kaiser Wilhelm today.
Why, isn't he feeling well? Oh, well, that's too bad, maybe tomorrow.
It's so hot. You know, Homie always got to breeze off the water.
Manitoba, you did it.
If war should break out, well,
People will die. Still, a watch pie never boils. You know what we need is a reason to board her. check out your file. A good man would find reason to board her.
Yes.
It's so hot, the heat, you know?
It's July. It's supposed to be hot.
What are you writing?
Nothing.
Are you writing in German? What is it?
It's nothing. Now clear off. I'm busy.
Steve, is the secret plan to board us and then maybe force us out for mutiny?
But we have not mutinied. It's very strange the Canadians here act as though they are the British.
But you are mistaken. Most of them are British. Only some are Irish or Scottish.
I'm not afraid of them. No, sir. My son knows and I do that for hundreds of years the Kaiser caused ran with our blood.
Yes, and no British force could overrun Maharaja Ranjit Singh's empire.
Until we decided to divide ourselves.
Yes, but with them on the shore, know one thing.
We will spill our blood here as in the Khyber, but we will teach them a few lessons in human dignity.
We have lost some battles, but this time they will not insult us.
We are ready to fight. Our friends and some Canadian people have led rallies in our support. Do they think they can fool all the people all the time?
George. I was wondering.
Yes.
It's a small problem. Perhaps you could advise me.
Certainly. What is it?
It's the Komagata Maru.
You call that a small problem?
Compared to, say, Kaiser Wilhelm, of course. Compared to an enemy alien in this country of war should break out. Yes, I think a small problem, don't you?
It's not what you might call subtle. But it works.
I wish to make the Komagata Maru an offer to give them supplies, to make vague promises and promises, to recompense them for their cargo of coal, to entice them to save. I wish the whole transaction to be kept quiet.
And what is your problem?
If my offer got out, it might look like some kind of acknowledgement of their rights. And it is a fair. They have none.
But what about the issue of...
It does seem to rest on one trust. Trustworthy as they are, have been in the past and will be in the future, I do not totally trust them in this endeavor. A very slight qualm of distrust.
I see.
What do you advise, my friend George?
Oh. Well, you're looking for someone to carry your offer out to the ship.
That's correct. This particular offer, a man I can trust, a man for whom I possibly would do a small favor sometime in the future in return for a little favor.
And with some small financial reward, I suppose?
Correct. I'll provide a boat, and one of our patrols will study the night sky as you slip through the excuse me, use the phone.
Quite all right, quite all right. Is there any reason why I myself, Georg, cannot act on your behalf in this matter? Shall we drink to it?
First the details.
Hello.
Hello, Emmy.
First the details. Linda. Note the envelope is sealed. You must remain so.
Oh, what's this? A letter home.
Yes. May I have it?
A letter to
agreement. May I have that letter?
He wants a good solid reason to board the Komagata Maru. And by Jesus, I'm looking at it.
You are going to land up in a sailor's bar.
I won't let you do this.
Ho, ho, ho. Two bits of crack in the dark alley.
George, open it.
This is an offer to...
That's enough.
It's a trick. Open it.
Return it or deliver it sealed.
You don't understand.
No trust, no deal.
Don't you know who he works for?
He works for the government.
Ha!
Go to bed, Evie.
Look at him. He cut off his hand before he makes the Komagata Maru an offer. He's got a thing about race, about color. Haven't you noticed?
You are boring and stupid, Evie.
Why do you suppose that is?
I,
He goes to the temple. Gets himself all dolled up. Goes to the temple in disguise. He thinks he looks like a Sikh. And if the Sikhs think, he looks like an ass.
Good night, George.
Yes, about the...
Good night.
Oh, good night. Good night.
I've been thinking.
That's enough.
Funny thing, your background.
Get the hell upstairs, Evie.
Birthplace, things like that. Where were you born, Bill?
England.
Where in England? Be specific.
Yorkshire.
Yorkshire. Yorkshire, now that's a good one. Yorkshire, eh? That's not what I think.
Evie.
Oh, quick, George. Without looking, what color's his eyes? Want to bet? I'd say brown.
Bitch!
Oh, blue, did you say? Well, then I bet your mother's eyes were brown.
My mother is dead.
Born in Punjab, served by Yorkshire.
Born in Yorkshire.
So are they blue or are they brown?
Blue.
Your mother's eyes. No, what were they?
My mother's eyes were blue, you bitch. I will kill you!
Oh, you'll have to catch me. You're stupid, Bill. You're stupid. It's not me that's stupid, it's you. Stupid, stupid, Bill. They all use you, Bill. Yes, they do. Oh, you think you use George. You think that you use Bella Singh. You think that you use me. But you're the one that's seeing you.
Shit!
They're using you and Billy boys too, don't you know? And stupid Dumbo Billy. Keep on being you. Billy Dumbo. Stupid. Stupid Dumbo Billy. Stupid Dumbo
Shit!
Billy. And Billy's mother's brown. And Billy's mother's brown. And Billy's mother's brown.
Don't say that! Don't say that! I'll kill you if you say that! Abby! Don't say that to me! Don't ever say that to me! I love you. But don't ever say that to me.
Oh. Poor Billy. Hawkinson,
Sir.
what are you waiting for? There's your report.
Sir.
You come up with what?
Sir.
A reason to board her, remember?
Sir.
Kindly observe. Captain Yamamoto. Captain Yamamoto. Is there a Captain Yamamoto in the house? Oh, there you are, my dear Captain. Come along, if you wouldn't mind, kindly having a seat. How many times have we had this conversation? How many times must we have this conversation? Yes, I know what you said before. Strictly speaking, your passengers of the Komagata Maru have not mutinied, hence you are reluctant to lay a charge. Truly a commendable cause. However, could you forget strictly speaking for just a minute? How about trying, laxly speaking, loosely speaking, or even informally speaking for just a minute there, my dear Captain? Could you find it in your heart to lay a charge carry the three. What was that you just said? You wish to press charges? Mutiny? Sedition? Treason? Blackmail? Oh, come on, my dear chap. Be serious. The first is quite sufficient. Mutiny. And that militia for instilling fear. You for our Union Jack, which God knows we hold dear. T for a tugboat, one you can't sink. And I for informant, a nice word for thing. And for a navy of fine volunteers, and why for Yamamoto, who finally signed here. I'll take those. Here you are, my good man. Here are your papers. Now go do your duty.
I'm sorry about the letter. I pay no attention to her. She's a stupid woman.
Yamamoto assigned. Press charges of mutiny. The militia is lining the dock. They are armed. They wait in reserve. We will engage the Komagata Maru at sea.
In the harbor, you mean?
In the harbor. We will mount an attack from the Sea Lion, the largest ocean-going tug in port. Police Chief McLennan shall lead 120 policemen and 40 special immigration officers
May I volunteer my services, sir?
in a paramilitary attack on the ship.
Will I come under fire, sir?
On board the Komagata Maru are many veteran soldiers.
Are they armed?
Reliable sources inform me that weapons abound on the ship. They have made clubs from floating driftwood, possibly spears, from bamboo poles.
He's forgotten the cargo of coal.
Force will be met with force. Rifles will be issued before we embark. I expect every man to do his duty, no doubt. We will meet with stubborn opposition, but remember, we are a formidable force.
In an orderly manner.
They are coming!
Board the sailors!
Get ready!
It was fair-sized for a tug. Not large enough for a company of men such as we were.
Stand back from the rails!
4 reporters came along for the ride. Hoppy, they cried. How about a smile for the press? So Hopkinson smiled.
Get below!
It looked like a very large ship. And the closer we got, defeat. But what else can you expect? We go out with rifles and we never use them. The whole thing was poorly conceived. So, however, compared to the execution, the conception was an act of genius.
What do you mean?
It was a stupid thing to do.
Hold the cloth to your head, Bill. It'll help.
I'm all right. I just need something to wash with.
I don't wonder. He looks like a chimney sweep, doesn't he, George?
There he sits, huh? A servant in His Majesty's government. Battered by a bunch of Hindus.
Get me some water!
If you yell like that, you can get it yourself.
Tell me the point of taking rifles if we never use them, Mr. Hopkinson. No, there he stood with his hat. The smart thing to do was remove the hat. But there he stood. And every time he was hit, they all cheered. The air rang with cheers.
George, I just thought of something. Come here. Mr. Hopkinson, I guess it was you that ate crow, huh? It was you that ate crow.
Get out! Get out and leave me alone!
It was you that ate crow.
Oh, Sophie.
We have gained nothing but time. We have driven them off but for a while. What we must now do is press for food. I say it's better to starve at their doorstep than out at sea.
You remember when I gave you the brooch, Evie?
Yes.
You like it?
Yes, I do. Order, order. Bill, this time don't go. Order! Say to hell with it. Are you assembled? Don't go, Bill. The meeting will come to order. Well, now, that was a bit of balls up yesterday, wasn't it?
Well, sir,
However, we aren't here to assign Gil. We can do that later. What's the next step? That's the question. Any suggestions, Hopkinson? I thought not. Well, you see, luckily we have in our midst a man of courage and foresight. He has had refurbished, remanned, and equipped a second-class cruiser at Escalating. The Rainbow, sir? What was the length? 360 feet, you said? 3,600 gross tonnage? With 2 6-inch guns and 6 4-inch guns. A small hand, if you please, before Mr. Harry Stevens, our federal MP. I think we can do better than that. Ah, yes, you see, Mr. Stevens has worked diligently since the arrival of the Komagata Maru in our waters. Diligence, perseverance, and patriotism always pays off. Let the Rainbow push through the narrows. Let her anchor near enough for the sun to glint on her guns. Let our next message be, we won't necessarily fire on you, but we will fire on you if necessary.
sir, my informants in the Sikh community inform me.
Informants inform you. You're being redundant, my boy.
My people in the Sikh community tell me that threats have been made, death threats.
Death threats. You've stirred up a hornet's nest, haven't you? You've opened up Pandora's box. You created a maelstrom.
I was following orders!
Let me tell you something. There's someone at the end of the yard.
Bella Singh?
Not Bella Singh. Someone who's not Bella Singh. Waits
It's not my concern.
If this ship is turned back, it will have produced 376 fighters against His Majesty the King and his poor imitators.
You know something? My son's lips are swollen and burst with the thirst. They are covered with the grease from the engines. And my legs are like sticks. If I smell the real meat, I vomit. And you think a few guns are going to make our knees numb. Saleh, Haram Saleh, give us supplies and we'll leave.
See the cruiser? This gun is trained on the Komagata Maru.
Will they fire on it?
I couldn't care less.
Don't you feel anything for them?
You wouldn't understand.
Yes, I would. I would try.
One has to make decisions, commitments, to one side or the other.
What side are you on?
The winning
Or
side.
are you winning?
This time, the Komagata Maru will sail.
Do you think then you'll have won?
I'm tired. Let's go to bed.
Not right now.
Lie beside me. That's all I want.
I don't want to.
You don't have to ask. I can order.
Hurry, hurry, hurry! Absolutely the last and final chance to view the Komagata Maru. Anchored in picturesque Vancouver Harbor. For count them 2 glorious months. Look, the cruiser standing by to the right. See the sun glint on its guns? What a fantastic sight! Run, my good friends! You mustn't walk! You must run! Cotton candy, taffy apples, popcorn, balloons! All this and the possible plus. The opportunity to view your very own Navy in action with no threat to you.
Oh, it's all so exciting, George. Now tell me, what are all those little boats doing?
Well, some of them are harassing the Sikhs,
Okay.
and some of them are supplying the ship. The government is giving them provisions.
Well, what about the cargo of coal? If there's any left.
Well, I hear the government may recompense them. My friends tell me they promised them everything, but will give them nothing. That's called diplomacy, eh, Bill?
Look, George, look! There's black smoke coming out of the smokestack. The rainbow's moving. What's it gonna do? I bet it's gonna shoot. Oh, I hope it's gonna shoot, George! Come look, Edie, come, Mr. Hopkinson, quick! Oh, look! Look, it's the Komagata Maru. It's moving. And the rainbow's going right alongside. It's over! It's over! It's over! We won! Aren't you even gonna look? It's over and we won!
Over. A note, Mr. Hopkins, from the man at the end of the yard. When the affairs were past any other remedy, I thought it righteous to draw my sword.
We go back. My husband is dead. He died fighting in their war. His father is dead. He died when they cut back the famine relief. I am a British subject and my people's taxes have gone to their king. I'm not
educational. I've made many valuable friends and good contacts. And I owe it all to you, Bill. Can I get you a drink? Sophie, get him a drink. Ah.
Order, order. The court will come to order. Will the inspector take the stand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth as it befits this case, so help you God?
I do.
Might I ask, Inspector, if you were acquainted with one Herman Singh?
I was.
What was his character?
He was a quiet, unassuming man, intensely loyal to his king.
And what was the nature of your relationship?
He rendered assistance to the government in the Komagata Maru incident.
5½ weeks after the departure of the Komagata Maru, one Private Warnes was walking along a little-used trail on the Kitsilano Indian Reserve. It was quite a pleasant trail. He noticed what at first sight appeared to seem like a bundle of rags lying close to a log near the path. He examined it. It was the badly decomposed body of an East Indian. The turban was wrapped around the ankle. Beside the body lay an empty brandy flask, a leather satchel, and an open straight razor. When he touched the head, it came off in his hands. It was Herman Singh. Might I ask, Inspector, with your intimate knowledge of the Asian mind, would you say that the facts as related are consistent with suicide?
No.
Ah, yes.
No, I would not.
And if indeed it were murder, could you suggest a possible motive?
By informing Herman Singh had incurred the hatred of his people.
You may step down. Bill, why don't we go away? Why can't we? Bill! Bill, talk to me! I can leave. I can leave. And I will. Six weeks after the departure of the Komagata Maru, one Arjun Singh, shot from the back of the head,
Arjun Singh
from
is dead.
behind.
He'll have to get a whole new stable of fellows, eh?
And where would he get them, George?
Good point. Where is he going to get them?
October the 23rd, 1914. Early evening. Bella Singh goes to the temple. Inside the temple, people are singing hymns. They're singing hymns for Arjun Singh, for Harman Singh. Bella Singh takes off his shoes. Bella Singh enters the temple. fires 10 shots. Scores 9 out of 10. 2 dead, 7 wounded. He never speaks till arrested.
He says he acted in self-defense. He says Bill will verify that. Will you testify, Bill?
Yes.
October the 26th. My God, what a day! Look at that sky. And the leaves all russet and gold. The mountains like sentinels. The city set like a precious gem on the Pacific. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out.
I leave the house early. I walk to the courthouse. It's fall. I feel like a toy man walking through a toy town. Everything's working. My arms and legs move so well together. There's a mechanical precision to everything. I notice the houses seem neater than usual. A certain precision. But at the same time, it's slower. Things are slower. And very precise. There are no clouds in the sky. And it's blue. Deep blue. There's a slight breeze, and the veins in the leaves seem to protrude as if swollen. Toy mountains frame my toy town. I'm just a bit late because of my walk. I enter the courthouse from House Street. As I wait for the lift to carry me up to the court, I place very carefully one hand on the wall, feeling the wall and feeling my hand in the wall. It's a tiny toy court. I open the door to the lift. I step inside. I close the door. I think of the piece of the coffin. I think of the safety of the cage. I open the door. I step out. I walk down the corridor. I see no one I know.
Weber Singh waits in the witness room.
I stop at the witness stand.
Weber Singh steps out the witness room. In each hand he carries a gun.
When I see him, I feel myself bursting. My toy town is destroyed in an instant. He is large. He encompasses my world. I feel myself racing towards eternity. They say I grapple. I do not. I open my arms. I say, no! Dazzles the sparkle of his sword. It was utterly dreadful and is contained not by the elements. When he performeth this death dance, how dolefully his bells toll and knell. He, the four-armed one, of lustrous hairbun, he wieldeth the mace and the club, and crushes the swollen head, even of death. His auspicious tongue of blazing fire licketh all that is unholy. When shrieks his horrid conch, the whole universe reverberates with its raucous notes. How tintinnabulating are thy ankle bells, and when thou movest, thou stampest the earth like a quake, and thy immense gongs strike deep, resonant notes.
Devasing fires 3 times. A bullet pierces Hopkinson's heart.
On January 11th, 1915, Meva Singh was hanged at New Westminster Penitentiary. As he stepped on to the gallows, he said,
I am a gentle person. But sometimes gentle people must act when their fellow countrymen have been wronged. I shot Mr. Hopkinson out of honor and principle to my people. I could not bear to see their troubles any longer. There is no justice issued out in this country by the judges and the police. Bhima Singh shot 7 of my people in the temple on Mr. Hopkinson's orders. His trial will go on for months. I shot Hopkinson. My trial lasted 2 hours only. But I have nothing to regret. I want to tell all Canadian people that I'm giving my life to show this matter up. I came to Vancouver in 1908. I'm leaving in 1915. I'm sure my prayers have been accepted.
So thank you very much. Thank you again for coming. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Why was it the abridged version? Is he still at it? Anybody have it? He's here again. He comes up like a Who is he?
That's great.
Walking over to your place.
Who wants to go out tonight?
Well, it wasn't a vacation.
Come on, you say something.
Anyway, I have this proposal.
Okay. I gotta go. Okay, it's fine. I'd like to hear that. We'll go out tomorrow.
Not you again. You're a disaster, you are. That's what you are, and you better watch out if you've got me.
Okay, you planned it out? Yeah? So you like the Chris? Did you like the music? Yeah. Guitars. Okay, Chris, I'll see you Christmas Eve, okay? Glad you guys came.
Ready to go?
Well, so who are you off to? You gonna go drinking?
How do you know?
Want to go drinking? Maybe we should go drinking.
I was a friend to meet at like
It's not hard.
I didn't realize you were still.
Oh no.
Form syndications of groups to buy swine or stuff like that.
Did you take it today? Did you film today?
Yes, sir.
Oh no! I don't believe this.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Have fun. Have fun at Cabana.
Bye.
Okay. Well.